Okay, so it's been 11 months now. Last time I said it was 11 months when it was actually 10 months. I'm exercising again. I keep injuring myself. For some reason I have bad knee back, but that came from when I was heavy, so I'm not worried. Well, I am worried about it, but I know that all those pains and injuries I had came as a result of me being overweight from before. So now when I go and I jump up and down and I do a lot of cardio and stuff like that, of course it makes me get even worse injuries. I hurt myself a lot every time I try to exercise. Don't really have much to report. As you can see, the belly's still looking good. Everything seems to be fine. There you go. Of course I have a couple stretch marks down here, but they're very faint, and only when you have like a bright light really shining on it, then you can really see them. My only thing is my skin is really bad. I have, like, you know, skin that really scars badly. My scar is looking kind of, it's very light, I must say. It's much lighter in color than it used to be at the start, but now it still has these little kind of high spots and low spots. Like some areas are really flat and then some areas are kind of like high, and I'm wondering if I just can't go back and ask him to just totally fix the whole scar line and make it much smoother. I'm sure he can, because he did the two corners maybe at month 6 or so, and they look much different than the rest of the scar. It looks much smoother. It looks hardly noticeable. But there are these little puckers and stuff in the line that I can notice, and especially if the light shines on them, you can see the little indentations along the way. However, I do believe that I will have a tattoo eventually, with the 2 peacock feathers coming up, one from one side come up there, one from the other side come up there. That should help to hide the scar line, because the little stem of the peacock feather will lie just right where it needs to lie, and then I'll be fine. There's nothing more I have to report. Since it's month 11, it's almost a whole year. I could celebrate now. I could have a tattoo now. You could definitely work out now. Nothing really feels any kind of way. Sometimes I get a feeling of stiffness, like if it gets really kind of chilly, I get a stiff kind of feeling along the line. Kind of feels kind of painful sometimes. If I stretch back really far, sometimes it feels like it's pulling. Otherwise than that, I just think it's my imagination, because I know that I've been cut there, and so I feel like maybe I will hurt myself. Otherwise than that, I think it is well worth it. Yes, somebody asked me if I think it was well worth it. I think that before, if you had a lot of kids, before you do a tummy tuck surgery, I think you should go ahead and girdle yourself for at least 4 to 6 months before you go ahead and do that. I mean, buy a girdle, buy different sizes. If they start to feel comfortable, if the one that you bought that used to take your life and you can't breathe before starts to feel comfortable to you, buy a smaller one, and just keep doing that, because it's going to pull back in your stomach muscles. Your stomach muscles go in because your stomach muscles come apart when you have a child. So if you had 4 kids, you can imagine the gaps between the stomach muscles are going to be really big. So you need to get them back together, or else that is the reason why you get to feeling so crippled, because all of the stitches that put back in all your stomach muscles make you feel like you can't move. So you're like this hunched over, oh God, and you feel like even if you cough or sneeze or anything like that, those are what's gonna hurt you, not the scar. Oh yeah, you've been cut open, but it's not the scar that's gonna make you feel that way. It's the stitches inside. So yeah, that's what I suggest that you do. I suggest that if you had children, go ahead and girdle. Use girdles 4 to 6 months prior to your surgery. And I think that will take some of the strain, because then your stomach will have already been used to having that kind of tension. What complications? Well, of course, if you're gonna stretch your skin down and you don't moisturize your skin, you're gonna end up with a lot of stretch marks, and you're gonna be really unhappy with your results, because the reason why you had a tummy tuck is so you could show your belly again, and but if you don't use your cocoa butter or whatever kind of cream you decide to use and rub it on your stomach in small circles, yeah, you rub it in small circles. If you don't do that, you're gonna be really disappointed. And I suggest you go all the way around, because I noticed some stretch marks are over here and over here too. So don't just focus on the front, do the back too. Honestly, just listen to me. I'm telling you because I went through the experience, so I know now that I made a couple mistakes that nobody warned me about. So just go ahead and do what you have to do. And make sure to massage the scar line as well, because if you don't massage the scar line, it's going to stay hard and high. You're probably going to have a neater scar line than me, because I have terrible skin. I have eczema and all kind of weird allergies, and my skin just doesn't, anytime I get a scratch, it never heals right. So I never expected my scar line to look even as good as this. So there you go. I thought I was gonna have some big bump going straight across. That's about it. So I'm gonna show you what I look like from a year, at the year, a whole year, man. So come back next month. And I think that should be it for the Tummy Tuck series, don't you? If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me.